Do you know that Lady Gaga never got her driver's license until she turned 30? Yeah, the super beautiful singer we know as Lady Gaga actually didn't drive until she was 30 years old. You'd probably be shocked to know that she already had several cars even before her license came in. Thinking about it now, which of these cars did she first drive after she got her license? In today's video, let's check out some of Lady Gaga's super luxurious and stylish vehicles. And P.S., she owns more than 10 cars. Let's start with Lady Gaga's oldest car, a 1965 Lincoln Continental convertible she bought in 2015. This old-school set of wheels is very similar to the 1961 Lincoln Continental used in John F. Kennedy's motorcade, and was a really luxurious car when it first came out in 1965. For something that stylish, you've got to pay a heavy price for it, and yeah, she did. Before we go on, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. It would really help us make more videos on celebrity cars and bikes. Also, if you've got any celebrity you'd want us to talk about next, just let us know in the comments section down below. Now, the Lincoln Continental uses a 7.0-liter V8 that pumps 320 horsepower and 465 pounds-feet of torque. And with its small 3-speed transmission, it does make for a good vehicle, hitting a top speed of around 120 miles an hour. But let's come clean. No one actually buys the Lincoln for its performance or engine numbers. Yeah, the real deal about the car is actually its presence. Only those that earn over 6 figures drive this car back then. Another thing will be its famous suicide doors that swing open in the other way, the grand entrance and exit. Then, the convertible top tucks neatly under a rear-hinged deck lid, keeping the whole thing really stylish. For her customization, she gave it an off-white exterior with deep red leather seats. Quite the color combo. Tech-wise, the Lincoln Continental is real punk. Its dashboard comes with a vacuum-actuated and adjustable steering column, an AM radio, and an analog clock, which were high-tech in the 60s. It also used an automatic temperature control, or ATC, which was one of the earliest forms of climate control systems for cars. And then there was the tilt steering wheel, which gave the driver much more ease in driving. In January of 2020, Gaga gave up her Continental for an auction in Scottsdale, Arizona, with $58,300 going to the highest bidder. Buying one that is in great condition might cost you something around $69,000, which is a fair price for a car with some really good history. Now, you might not know this, but Lady Gaga never got her driver's license until she turned 30. Then, when it finally came, she went out and got a 1967 Ford Mustang. So what's with this car? To start with, if you know anything about Mustangs, you'd know that the 67 model was a huge deal. Ford had just given it a major redesign, making it longer, wider, and, well, a bit more aggressive. Gaga's in particular had a 6.4-liter V8 that produced around 335 horsepower and could hit speeds up to 115 miles an hour. I want to believe the car was made for drag racing, because why would it even be this fast? Lady Gaga once drove this car to the launch of her album, Joanne. Paparazzi went crazy over it, making quite the story about it. Interestingly though, they also got some clips on its insides. The vehicle wasn't exactly as stylish as today's cars, but it still managed to be pretty nice. The seats were thicker and more comfortable, and Ford even threw in an option for integrated air conditioning. Some models even had a tilt-away steering wheel, and the fastback version gave you a fold-down rear seat. On the outside, Lady Gaga's model has a larger grille, a concave rear tail light, and some really classy side air intakes. I think she also went for the option of front disc brakes, which came with power assist. Sadly, it actually was pretty basic, having no infotainment system, no Bluetooth, and not even a proper sound system. Makes me wonder if she ever tried playing her songs in the car. Today, a good 67 Mustang is sold for between $30,000 and $50,000. For Lady Gaga's own, though, it could sell for over $100,000. The city of Malibu never lacks super luxurious cars, and Lady Gaga's baby blue 1967 Ford Bronco is among them. So what's about this car? Well, it comes with a 5.0-liter Cobra engine and a Ford C4 automatic transmission with a high-low shifter for the four-wheel drive system. It was really smooth, like really smooth, and even its stopping power was once to make the car owner proud. The Willwood brakes never joke with safety. Its inside was also nothing like the bare-bones Bronco of the 60s. Gaga refurbished it with modern bucket seats, power windows, power locks, and an upgraded air conditioning system. Plus, the Kenwood stereo setup was also perfect for the singer. Outside, it got a baby blue paint job that kept its old but gold magic, and the removable top was well needed for coast cruising. A little bit of wind in your hair. Fans first saw this car in Lady Gaga's Netflix documentary, Gaga 5'2", when she accidentally bumped it into Mark Ronson's Mercedes. Also, if you've seen her Perfect Illusion music video, you'll remember seeing a more rugged Bronco in the desert scenes of the clip. In 2021, though, she finally let it into the car market, fetching herself a good $120,000. Not too bad a price for a car with some serious rock star history. Another really interesting set of wheels in Lady Gaga's garage is her 1969 Chevrolet Nova SS, the one car that was crowned the best car of the golden era of America. Why, you might ask? Well, imagine taking a handful of raw power, another of wild engineering, and another of super stylishness, and mixing it all into one perfectly shiny Chevrolet. Yep, that was the Nova SS. For its engine, the Nova SS came with options, including a 5.7-liter V8 that produced 300 horsepower and a much larger 6.5-liter V8 that produced 375 horsepower. Even the transmission system had options: a 3-speed manual, a 4-speed manual, or an automatic, your pick. Like all muscle vehicles, its outside was pretty interesting. It had a black grille, a couple of sporty details on the hood, and of course, the SS badges that made it quite the Nova. Still being the so-called Santa of options, Chevy allowed buyers to choose their type of bucket seats, a center console, and dashboard settings. And come on, the AM/FM radio, and even a stereo tape player with 4 speakers? That's one heck of a sound system. Now, we don't quite know every detail about Gaga's own Nova, but a well-preserved model will go for around $35,000. And of course, the price still depends on its condition and originality. Now let's talk more modern and more expensive cars. Lady Gaga owns a 1990 Rolls-Royce Corniche III, which she nicknamed the Bloody Mary. Interestingly though, back in 2009, this was the only car in her garage. Probably I should also add that she hadn't even gotten her license at that time, so she just had a chauffeur behind the wheel. Why did she get this car? Well, if you've checked details about the Corniche III, you would know that it mocked several convertibles. Rolls-Royce only made 451 of them, so while owning one was exactly like owning some really rare treasure, it does count as owning something special. It ran on a 6.75-liter V8 that had a top speed of 120 miles an hour, a power output of over 220 horsepower, and torque of 300 pounds-feet. Its insides, designed by Mulliner Park Ward, had cream-colored leather seats and vermilion Wilton carpeting. The dashboard had wood veneers, and if you add the power windows and power seats, you could say it was some really wild flex. Gaga once pulled up in this car to the Guggenheim Museum in Manhattan, 2012, for the launch of her perfume. Gotta make a grand entry if you're gonna release a grand perfume. She probably lost all love for this car when she auctioned it off in 2014. Media sorta tell a slightly different story, claiming that the auction was because she wanted to support MusiCares, a charity that helps struggling musicians. With Julian's Auctions handling the sale, the car was finally released for a $125,000 check. For a well-maintained Rolls-Royce Corniche III, you could spend more than $100,000. P.S. I kinda love the name Bloody Mary. What do you think? Now off to Lady Gaga's 2017 Lamborghini Huracan. The LP610-4 is definitely one of those cars that just leave your jaws hanging, not just because of its beautiful exterior or wheels, but also for its tech. So what does this relic of the Italian car bloodline have? The Huracan is powered by a 5.2-liter V10 engine that gives the heels over 600 horsepower and an acceleration up to 60 miles an hour in 3.2 seconds. The vehicle also has a maximum speed of 201 miles an hour. In other words, this was the one car she could use to escape paparazzi if they came in her way. Call it being rogue, but I kind of love the thought. Lady Gaga first brought out this Lamborghini in 2017, and since then, she sort of rode it to almost all the big events she attended, including the Super Bowl halftime show and the World Series. Also, if you've seen her 911 music video, you'd probably have seen the Lamborghini. The car has an all-wheel drive and a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission, which gives it quite the ease with driving. Then back to its exterior, it kind of was built for speed, especially with its sharp carbon fiber rear spoiler. Its seats are covered in luxurious Alcantara, and the whole space has quite the tech, including the Lamborghini Infotainment System 2, or LIS2, which couples navigation, media, and connectivity functions, 3 different driving modes, and an advanced track control. Today, this Lamborghini is valued at around $200,000, and with customizations like that of hers, you could get it at a way higher price. Finally, the crown jewels of Lady Gaga's garage, her 2 Rolls-Royce Phantoms. Yep, Lady Gaga owns not 1, but 2 Rolls-Royce Phantoms, the second Rolls-Royce model in her collection. Let's get talking. To start with, her white Phantom has gorgeous tan leather and black wheels. The materials are top-notch, hand-stitched leather and polished wood. And the sound system, a bespoke audio system, really did justice to the vehicle's flair. The car, introduced in 2017, runs on a 6.75-liter twin-turbo that produces more than 550 horsepower, taking it to 60 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds. Still on speed, it electronically capped at 155 miles per hour, thanks to its 8-speed transmission. While many would have a chauffeur drive them around, Gaga loves to drive her own Phantom. Enjoying the experience behind the wheel is sort of a new thing to her since her driver's license came. Of course, such a beautiful ride would come with a heavy price tag. The Rolls-Royce Phantom 8 sells for around $450,000, and since Gaga has 2 of them, that's over $800,000 worth of Phantom. Add her 1990 Rolls-Royce Corniche III, and you could say that Lady Gaga owns almost $1 million worth of Rolls-Royce sitting pretty in her garage. That's quite the money if you ask me. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so we can update you on all our upcoming content. Also, comment what celebrity car collection you want us to do next. We'll catch you in the next one.